Trent Alexander-Arnold sends three-word message to Mo Salah as Liverpool star follows his lead. Trent Alexander-Arnold shared a dressing room with Mohamed Salah for 8 years at Liverpool before leaving for Real Madrid, and he has sent his old teammate a message after his announcement. Trent Alexander-Arnold has sent his best wishes to Mohamed Salah after the Egyptian star announced he would be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. Salah released a video on Tuesday night to confirm he has called time on his career on Merseyside. The forward will depart Liverpool after 9 hugely successful years at the end of the 2025-26 campaign. The 33-year-old joined from Roma in 2017 and has helped the club win 2 Premier League titles, the Champions League, Club World Cup, UEFA Super Cup, FA Cup, 2 EFL Cups and the Community Shield. However, his output has dipped significantly this season, which was interrupted by a falling out with manager Arne Slot in December and speculation linking him with a move to Saudi Arabia in January. He has remarkably agreed to surrender the final year of his £400 000 a week contract and leave as a free agent, and his agent says nothing has been decided yet. The announcement was followed by an outpouring of reactions from Salah's teammates of past and present, including Alexander-Arnold. The right-back left Liverpool last summer for Real Madrid and shared some pictures of them together during their time at Anfield. Some journey brother, he wrote on Instagram, then added legend with a crown emoji. Liverpool left-back Andy Robertson, who is one of Salah's oldest teammates, shared an emotional message too. Robertson wrote, "Mohamed, thank you. 9 of the best years of our lives with amazing memories on and off the pitch. Watching you become the best at what you do and become one of the best to ever have worn the Liverpool shirt has been a joy to watch and be part of. Your mentality is second to none, and a lot of people could take note. You have pushed yourself every single day and always demanded more from yourself and others. A pleasure sharing the pitch with you for so long, but even more so being able to call you a friend. You deserve a send-off that reflects your status at LFC. The greatest, second to none." In his video message to supporters, Salah said, "Hello everyone. Unfortunately, the day has come. This is the first part of my farewell. I will be leaving Liverpool at the end of the season. I wanted to start by saying that I never imagined how deeply this club, this city, this people would become part of my life. Liverpool is not just a football club. It's a passion. It's a history. It's a spirit. I can't explain the words to anyone not part of this club. We celebrated victory, we won the most important trophies, and we fought together through the hardest time in our life. I want to thank everyone who was part of this club throughout my time here, especially the teammates past and present, and to the fans. I don't have enough words. The support you showed me through the best time of my career, and you stood by me in the toughest times. It is something I will never forget and something I will take with me always. Leaving is never easy. You gave me the best time of my life. I will always be one of you. This club will always be my home to me and to my family. Thank you for everything. Because of all of you, I will never walk alone." Liverpool lineup genius transfer for Rio Ngumoha 2.0. Liverpool are once again targeting a player from their rivals. Over the years, there's been a clear pattern of players leaving Stamford Bridge and going on to thrive at Liverpool. It has become a trend. Players who struggled to fully establish themselves with Chelsea have found the perfect environment at Anfield to grow into top-level performers. Rio Ngumoha looks like the latest to follow that path. Before him, both Mohamed Salah and Daniel Sturridge made similar moves and became key figures for Liverpool. And there have been also positive examples with Ryan Brewster and Dominic Solanke, who were both sold on for major profit. It highlights how different the two clubs can be in terms of player development and opportunity. At Liverpool, those Chelsea outcasts benefited from being in a more open and forgiving environment. That's something Chelsea cannot consistently offer, largely due to their aggressive recruitment strategy and tendency to continuously add new players, often blocking opportunities for others and being a lot quicker to discard talent. It's why Chelsea players are often willing to make the move. And there's already speculation that another young Chelsea star could follow in the footsteps of Ngumoha and others. Liverpool's need to reinforce both centre-back and right-back is becoming increasingly urgent when you look beyond the surface of the squad. At right-back, the situation is far from stable. Conor Bradley has shown promise, but recurring injury issues raise concerns about his reliability over a full season. Similarly, Jeremy Frimpong, while dynamic going forward, has struggled with fitness consistency. Relying on two injury-prone options in such a crucial position creates a structural weakness, particularly given how important fullbacks are to Liverpool's system in both attack and transition. At centre-back, the uncertainty is even more pronounced. Ibrahima Konate could potentially leave with his contract nearing its end, while Joe Gomez has also been linked with a departure. That leaves Liverpool facing the possibility of losing two experienced defenders in one window. Compounding the issue, Virgil van Dijk will be entering the final year of his contract by the summer, raising questions about long-term succession planning and leadership at the back. Although the arrivals of Jeremy Jacquet and Giovanni Leone point to a focus on youth, expecting them to immediately anchor the defence would be unrealistic. Liverpool need more depth and more bodies, so who have they gone for? Well, according to Court Offside, the club are admirers of Josh Acheampong. The 19-year-old has plenty of experience at first-team level and he's a huge talent, but he has seen more and more centre-backs arrive at Chelsea recently to try and take his place. What's amazing about Acheampong and what makes this such a genius deal is that he's a very versatile player. He plays right back and centre-back, and he is even comfortable on the left side if needed. This could therefore be a genius move. Liverpool could sign both centre-back and right-back depth with one simple transfer. In the process, they may even have a long-term Gomez replacement and, crucially, another homegrown player to add to the squad. Acheampong's size and reading of the game makes him an ideal profile for a defender. Seeing him at Anfield would be an exciting prospect. He'd definitely be able to follow suit of Ngumoa and Salah. It's on. Liverpool now have golden chance to sign generational midfielder. Liverpool now have a golden chance to sign a generational midfielder. Right now, the Reds are looking to rebuild their midfield, and it looks like they will be doing it around Ryan Gravenberch. The Dutchman has signed a new long-term contract, which will keep him at Anfield until he is 29 years old. Because the Reds' Dutch midfielder has been around for so many years and has already played at some of Europe's biggest clubs, it's easy to forget just how young he is. Gravenberch is only 23 years old, yet he feels like a veteran, having played over 100 games for Ajax, then spending a year at Bayern Munich before becoming a Premier League champion at Liverpool and already making over 100 appearances for the Reds as well. To do all this at his age, you have to be a special talent, and he has shown throughout the last few seasons that this is exactly what he is. And Liverpool's rebuild must now begin with the signing of another generational midfielder following in the footsteps of Gravenberch. At Ajax, the Liverpool midfielder was a generational prospect, becoming the club's youngest ever player and youngest ever goal scorer as well, both at barely 16 years old. Now there's another young man at Ajax following in his footsteps. His name is Jordi Mokio, and he's already on Liverpool's radar according to a recent report. Unlike Gravenberch, who is predominantly right-sided, Mokio is left-footed and prefers to play on the left of the midfield. But he is a very similar profile to the Liverpool midfielder. Mokio is a ball carrier who loves to go forward in a box-to-box midfield role while also being a good reader of the game and an excellent duel winner. He became the second youngest player to ever make an appearance for Ajax last season, falling short of Gravenberch's record by less than 2 months and beating Clarence Seedorf in the process. Mokio is also Ajax's youngest goal scorer in Europe, netting in the Europa League last season, although Gravenberch holds the record for being the youngest goal scorer in all competitions. Now 17 years old, Mokio is starting to become a regular at Ajax, and he's making an impact in front of goal. He netted in the Eredivisie back in December and then scored a brace and registered an assist in the KNVB Becker Cup a few days later. Capable of playing as a holding midfielder as well as a box-to-box midfielder, and even as a left-back, Mokio is such a brilliant profile, especially considering he is only 17 years old. He genuinely looks like a generational prospect. He is now very much on the same path as Gravenberch, and the best thing is Liverpool can sign him right now. As per Transfermarkt, his contract expires in 2027, which means he will be entering his final year unless he extends with Ajax before the end of the season. That is a golden opportunity to strike a bargain deal for the midfielder. Richard Hughes just has to act now to start the process. Report: Liverpool are in the race to sign Chelsea star. In shock move, Liverpool eye Chelsea's rising star. As transfer window narrative builds, hybrid defender profile attracts elite attention. There is a particular fascination in modern football with players who defy easy categorisation, and Josh Acheampong appears to sit squarely within that evolving trend. As reported by Court Offside, multiple top clubs, including Real Madrid, Borussia Dortmund, Liverpool and Newcastle United, are monitoring his progress closely, impressed by his ability to operate effectively in multiple defensive roles. At just 19, Acheampong is already being framed as a prototype for the contemporary defender, a footballer shaped as much by tactical demand as by natural talent. He is described as a hybrid, capable of shifting between right-back and centre-back, an adaptability that feels less like a luxury and more like a necessity in elite football. Modern tactical demands driving interest, the appeal is obvious. Clubs now require defenders who can initiate attacks as comfortably as they extinguish them. Acheampong's profile aligns neatly with that expectation. As outlined in the original report, the ability to contribute to build-up play, recover defensively and overlap into attacking positions makes Acheampong particularly attractive to clubs seeking flexible squad solutions. Standing at around 1.90 metres, he combines physical authority with mobility, an increasingly rare blend. It is this balance that has propelled his rapid ascent, even with only 12 Premier League appearances to his name this season. In truth, those numbers matter less than the trajectory. Elite recruitment departments are often drawn not to what a player is, but what they might become. Liverpool monitoring situation closely. Liverpool's presence in this conversation feels deliberate rather than speculative. The club's recruitment strategy has long leaned towards identifying players before they fully mature into established stars. Acheampong, in that sense, fits a familiar mould. Court Offside notes that Liverpool and Newcastle United have also been linked with scouting activity surrounding the young defender, suggesting a growing interest rather than a fleeting glance. Yet there is a complication. Chelsea reportedly view the defender as untouchable, a label that carries both intent and ambiguity. In an era shaped by financial fair play, even the most firmly held positions can soften under the right conditions. Contract situation could shape outcome. The report adds a layer of intrigue with the suggestion that potential offers in the region of €25, 30 million, could test Chelsea's resolve. That figure, modest by modern standards, reflects both Acheampong's limited experience and his considerable upside. For Chelsea, the dilemma is clear: retain a player with high ceiling potential or capitalise on a homegrown asset in a market that increasingly rewards financial flexibility. For Liverpool, the calculation is equally nuanced. This is not simply about acquiring talent, but about identifying the right moment to act. Our view EPL index analysis from a Liverpool perspective, this feels like a familiar crossroads. The club has built its recent success on spotting profiles early, players who can be moulded into system fits rather than marquee names bought at peak value. Acheampong ticks several boxes: versatility, physical presence and comfort in possession all align with what Liverpool require, particularly as defensive roles continue to evolve under Arne Slot. There is also a longer-term consideration, with defensive depth constantly under review. Investing in a player who can cover multiple positions could prove invaluable. However, there is a degree of caution here. 12 Premier League appearances is a small sample size. Liverpool supporters have seen promising young defenders linked before, only for development curves to stall or expectations to outpace reality. Equally, Chelsea's stance that he is untouchable raises questions. If they truly believe in his ceiling, prizing him away may require more than the reported €25, 30 million. Ultimately, this feels like an opportunity Liverpool will monitor rather than force. If circumstances shift, particularly around contract dynamics, it could become one to watch closely as the summer window approaches. Richard Hughes is rubbing his eyes. He can't believe £56 million forward offer Liverpool have been tipped to conduct an attacking shake-up in the upcoming transfer window. Although 2 British record deals were completed last summer for Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak, Richard Hughes wants more. Hugo Ekitike was also recruited, with the Red sporting director paying a further £69 million to secure his services on a deal from Eintracht Frankfurt. And with the centre of attack overhauled, it is now time to focus on the wings. We could see Mohamed Salah and Federico Chiesa depart from the right side of the attack in order to accommodate new arrivals. And following the loss of Luis Diaz to Bayern Munich last summer, Rio Ngumoha is second to only Cody Gakpo in the left-wing pecking order. Sales for Salah and Chiesa could raise significant money as the Premier League champions chase a wide attacker. And now there is a suggestion that Gakpo could be the subject of an incredible transfer approach from Atletico Madrid. Gakpo to replace Griezmann. With Antoine Griezmann completing a deal to move to Orlando in MLS, there is a space opening up in the Roja Blancos' attack. and due to his versatility and other characteristics appreciated by Diego Simeone, the 26-year-old Gakpo fits the bill. That's according to a report in Fichajes, which claims a €65 million, £56 million deal could bring the Dutch international to the Spanish capital. The 26-year-old Dutch international is going through a difficult period at Liverpool, where he has lost the prominent role he previously enjoyed. The report reads, his versatility, capable of playing both on the left wing and as a second striker, greatly appeals to Atletico Madrid's coaching staff. Although their playing styles differ, the arrival of the Dutch attacker would bring renewed physical and technical resources to the team. Gakpo in demand. Could fund Gordon deal. Liverpool signed Gakpo to a lucrative new contract last summer, worth a reported £250k per week. But he's only scored 8 goals in 42 games this season and been heavily criticised for his lacklustre performances. Richard Hughes might well be rubbing his eyes at the prospect of landing a £56 million deal for Gakpo that, in turn, could go towards funding a replacement like Anthony Gordon or Yan Diomande. Atletico will have to beat off competition for Gakpo's signature, as the former PSV captain is set to be a man in demand. It won't be an easy road for Atletico Madrid, as clubs like Napoli, AC Milan and Tottenham are also monitoring the situation, the report reads. The striker's market value currently stands at €65 million, a figure befitting his international stature. Furthermore, RB Leipzig and Bayern Munich have shown interest in the past, which would increase the final transfer fee.